Have you ever wondered if this whole grand story has an ending? I'm not just talking about your story, or my story, but the story. The big one, the story of humanity itself. Does it all just stop? Or is there a final chapter? According to the Bible, there is. It's a chapter often called Judgment Day. Now, when we hear that phrase, our minds might jump to a scary courtroom scene, with a thunderous judge and a long list of our mistakes. But the picture painted in the text is actually quite different. It's less like a trial and more like a final, clarifying moment. An ultimate sorting of a lifetime of choices. A day of absolute, undeniable truth. The story describes a scene where everyone, from all of history, is gathered together. And then, a separation begins. To explain it, the text uses a simple, almost rustic image, a shepherd separating his sheep from his goats. It's something a shepherd would do naturally, but for the people in the story, it's a total shock. They have no idea what's happening or why. To those placed on his right, the ones called the sheep, the king says, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world." Imagine the relief, the joy. But it's mixed with pure confusion. They ask him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" They have no memory of doing these grand things for a king. And this is where we get to the heart of the entire story. The king's reply is breathtaking. He says, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Every small act of kindness, every cup of water, every visit, every piece of clothing given to someone who was overlooked, forgotten, or struggling, it was all seen. It all mattered. It was, in a profound way, an encounter with the divine. Then, the focus shifts to those on the left, the goats. The sentence for them is the complete opposite, a heartbreaking departure. And what's fascinating is that they are just as shocked as the first group. Their protest is almost identical. "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or needing clothes or sick or in prison, and did not help you?" They're basically saying, if we had known it was you, of course we would have helped. The verdict is crushing because it mirrors the first one, but in reverse. "Truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." Notice what's happening here. The story isn't about grand, public displays of piety or religious performance. It's all about the quiet, unseen, everyday moments. The sin of the goats wasn't necessarily some monstrous act of evil. It was simpler, and perhaps more common, indifference. It was seeing need and just walking past. It was being too busy, too distracted, or too self-absorbed to notice the person who was hungry, lonely, or in pain right in front of them. So, what's the real takeaway from this ancient story? It's not meant to be a threat to make us live in fear. It's a revelation. It reveals that the very fabric of the universe, according to this worldview, is woven with love in action. It tells us that simple, genuine kindness has eternal weight and significance. This story is a powerful call to live with our eyes wide open. It asks us to see the sacred, immeasurable worth in every single person we meet, especially those who society might consider the least. The homeless person on the corner, the lonely coworker, the struggling family down the street. The ultimate lesson of Judgment Day isn't be terrified of the end. It's live with intentional love, today. Because how your story intersects with the stories of others, in moments of need and moments of compassion, is building that final chapter, right here and right now. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more thoughts like this. See you next time.